it's Olivia-Savannah here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today we are starting a reading vlog. It's a very exciting reading vlog and I can't wait to tell you all about it. I was just a bit too lazy to move from this prone position after taking a few bookstagram photos, but let's get into a proper video position. Okay, so we didn't move very far. We're still on my bed. But I am excited because today I'm starting a reading vlog for The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, and this beautiful edition of The Phantom of the Opera that I was holding upside down is from Folio Society, and Folio Society do these beautiful gorgeous editions of books. I have one of The Haunting of Hill House, which I've either shown you in a book haul or is coming up, but either which way I want to show you this one because this one is beautiful. So we're opening it out. Look at that beautiful cover. It's got gorgeous sprayed edges that I love with my whole heart. So I just want you to see the finer details of this book. And there's some lovely illustration pages in there as well as detailing on the chapter pages. And it's just such a gorgeous special edition. I love my edition of The Phantom of the Opera, but also of The Haunting of Hill House, which you'll have seen. And although I've read The Haunting of the Hill House, I have not read The Phantom of the Opera. I am quite familiar with the story because I have seen the musical and I'm familiar with all of the songs, but I actually haven't seen the film or read the book, so I'm going to do reading the book in this vlog, and my hope is to check in every 50 pages with my opinions, and we can just go about what I do while I'm reading this book. It's just going to be a nice, chill little vlog. Before I get started with the book though, I do love the title track, you could say, The Phantom of the Opera in the musical, and actually the best rendition I've seen of it is when Nicole Scherzinger did it with some guest phantoms, and I'll leave a link to that performance down below because it absolutely blew my mind. I just wouldn't have thought of her as someone to go into that opera range, but she did it and she killed it. But either which way, I'm now excited to start reading this one today. The sun is shining, so I might go outside and read my book. Sunshine and warmth makes me happy. It's literally all I need to be happy. I've also got dried mango and flowers, which helps as well. But I'm just feeling very happy, so I'm ready to start this book. Okay, I just opened it and saw the end papers. Look at those end papers. I'm very excited to start reading. It's the next day and I'm actually just about to leave for church, so this update is going to be short and sweet, but I read the first 50 pages of The Phantom of the Opera yesterday and it's off to a very, very good start. So the writing style of this book kind of reminds me of another classic, which is Dracula by Bram Stoker, another one that I love, where it's a fictional story and it's all fictionalized, but the way that the story is told to you kind of almost makes it feel like the author is recounting facts. So even though it is still storytelling and very much fiction, the narrator or the person who's giving you the story definitely believes what he is telling you is true and fact. So it's just that kind of style that I really enjoy seeing in classics. The writing style is interesting and this book just gets right down to it. There's no dithering about. There's already been the first death within the first few chapters, which is exciting. I feel like it's bad to say that's exciting, but it is exciting as I'm reading the story. And we've met all of these characters who are at the opera. We see the different ways that the singers are viewed by people and what they're really like, and the mystery has started to unfold. I'm keeping this spoiler free, but I do have to say the first 50 pages I breezed right through them. It was easy reading and it's definitely got me intrigued and captivated. I love the illustrations. I've been showing you some clips of what the illustrations look like, but they're just such a nice touch. For the rest of this Sunday, the plan is to go to church and probably talk to some people afterwards. And then I'm going to head to my nan's and I'm just going to spend some time with Nana. And once I return, I will do some more reading of The Phantom of the Opera. with a tea from my advent calendar, because that's what we do when we do vlogs around here. I just need to find out, oh, the next one is 4. I haven't got very far. So 4 is that way around. Elegant English breakfast. And on the calendar it says, at this time of year breakfast should be as special as this tea here. I believe breakfast should always be special. I'm a big fan of breakfast. And on the tea bag itself it says an exquisite blend of the very finest black teas. If you know me, I don't drink that much black tea anymore. Well, I still do drink black teas, but they're not necessarily my favorite. I used to love them a lot, but now I really like trying weird and whimsical teas, and I feel like black teas, they're not standard, but they tend to be quite, you know, standard. And it's in the like herbal teas and in the red teas that you get something wild and whimsical and a bit strange and a bit odd of combination of flavors, but then it works very well. But that's all things aside, I still do like my black teas, and I haven't had one in a while, so it's going to be nice when I try this English tea. I'll get back to you with my thoughts on that after I've gone to those places, drank some tea and did some reading. To give you a bit of an update of where I am with the Phantom of the Opera. So I'm now quite a few chapters in. I think I'm just about to start chapter 9. I read 100 pages, over 100 pages now, and I'm surprised, really enjoying it. I actually already knew that I would enjoy this because of having seen the musical and really liked the musical. And there's been a bit of a love interest introduced, and the romance is not the most convincing thing. It seems a bit love at first sight-ish, but at the same time they've got a bit of history, so it's not exactly love at first sight, but it still definitely gives me those vibes. But I don't particularly mind. It's a classic, it's a bit dramatic, we're here for it, it's fine. And as well as that, there's been some drama happening. There's a lot of people who don't believe in the Phantom, there are some people who do, and right now that is all coming to a head. A very significant scene just happened, and I don't want to signpost it in any way because I don't want to spoil this book for anyone, but I actually remember it from the musical, and it's just such a dramatic moment that it's really fun and enjoyable, and it just finished happening, so I'm actually just going to sit down and continue reading because I want to know what the aftermath of that event is. But so far so good, and I'm hoping to reach the halfway mark today if I can. Otherwise, in the spirit of the Phantom of the Opera, today I'm going to go and see an orchestra. I'm going to see them perform Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and I'm very excited because I like classical music. I'm one of those nerds who you will find going to orchestras. It's going to be candlelit and beautiful. I don't know if I can get any clips because that might be off limits, but I'm going to enjoy some classical music today. And I almost forgot to tell you about the tea that I tried. I tried the English breakfast tea and it was fine. I don't have much to say other than it was fine because, as I explained, English breakfast tea, black tea is not my favourite. It was a good English breakfast tea, but it's a fairly standard and basic one, so that was just an okay one for me. Hello, my friends. It's another day. Well, it's another night, to be honest. And I'm halfway through A Phantom of the Opera. Could you guess which book I was going to talk about? So I'm halfway through, and I don't actually have that much to add. Actually, maybe I do. Let's get ready to add things. So in this last 50 pages, a lot has kicked off. I feel like things have come to more of a standoff where we're reaching an ultimatum, we're reaching a boil where everything is going to go down. And it's kind of, in the beginning it was very much looking at all of the characters in the opera, and it kind of had a bird's eye view. We were jumping from character to character, we were seeing different encounters, but now I feel like we're more firmly positioned in Raoul's point of view, and Raoul just doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what is going on, and then that means us as readers also don't know what's going on, even though he has suspicions and we have suspicions, and we as readers probably believe in the Phantom a bit more than he does. And Christine, that girl is evasive, and it's just so interesting to... I just want to see where this is going. I was a bit stunned when I heard the song The Phantom of the Opera, and I don't think I processed much past that point, so I don't know how this is going to end anymore. And I was just thinking about the fact that I don't know, and I don't know what's going to go on. Like, there's just so many unanswered questions. So what I'm going to do is keep reading tonight, because when there's unanswered questions, the number one thing you want to do is keep reading and find out some answers. So I'm just going to make a cup of tea, read for the rest of the evening, because I've been out today, out and about, and now I'm tired. I've just been doing some more reading of this wonderful book, and I've got about 70 pages left until the very end. And what I have to say is that at the moment it just feels very clever. There have been a few explanations that we've gotten. We don't know everything yet, but from the explanations that we have gotten, I can see how everything fits together, and I really enjoy what we've been told. As well as that, there have also been some adventures that are happening within the opera, and it's making me appreciate and realize how much the opera is kind of like a very big haunted house. And I love a sentient house story, but I also really love a good haunted house story, and I appreciate the fact that they've just made the whole opera haunted, which is even more fun than a haunted house mansion, because an opera is even bigger and has all the more mystery to it. So I've been having fun seeing how the setting really plays into the storyline, and everything's coming to a boil. We're definitely coming to the end of this right now, and I'm just along for the ride and having a good time, and I want to know how it ends. I just really, the more I think about it, the more I can't remember how it ends, so I'm really looking forward to piecing it all together. And just like that, I have finished reading The Phantom of the Opera, and wow, what a good ending it was. It was full of suspense, but it's definitely left me thinking about kindness and beauty and human standards, and the ways in which the whole plot of the storyline could have been changed if there was more kindness and grace in the world. And I just can't stop comparing this one in style to Dracula, but in themes to Frankenstein, and as those are two of my favorite classics, the combination of them that brings about The Phantom of the Opera makes me very satisfied, and I just think it cements this as one of probably a classic that's going to become part of my favorite classics. I think it's going to end up there. I always end up needing to think about classics a bit more, but all in all, it was a very, very good read, and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much to Folio Society for sending me this gorgeous edition of this book that I'm now going to treasure, and I'll leave a link down below to where you can get yourself one of these if you would like to get yourself a copy. Very good book, very beautiful edition, recommend it. Please let me know in the comment section down below, have you ever read The Phantom of the Opera? Have you ever been to an opera? Would you want to go to one? Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video. And you know what they say, onwards and upwards. Excelsior!